Follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, when we come to meditation, it is one of the important thing is the purpose of sitting. And yourself always remember, this is the effort you have to realize yourself. And this is realizing the reality of our own life, not something else, not outside or not regarding any kind of believing system or not regarding any kind of teacher or master or guru or any kind of patterns to empower. We don't practice like that way. We practice to develop the self-realization. So it is your own understanding. So then you have fully responsibility. That's why it is important. Because once you sit, you cannot wait for something or somebody. So then bring the fully responsibility to your practice. So in the beginning, you have to have some discipline with your sitting. And don't move your body, don't move your hands or leg unnecessarily. If it is necessary, it is okay. But also then sometimes how we can decide what is necessary for you or not. Because when you have a habit, sometimes that habit itself is necessary for you. So that's why the posture is giving kind of like a discipline. Try to stay as long as yourself without moving. So that will give a kind of a first place background to prepare yourself with the mental practice. So when it comes to mind, it is very nature of the mind going here and there. So then yourself, remember, don't worry about it. And even don't keep thinking about it. Don't thinking that how you can bring it back or how you going to hold the mind and keep the mind, how you can practice. It is nothing to do with you. So then what you have to do? In tranquility meditation, we give a primary mental object. So that is our inhalation, exhalation. So without thinking or without worrying about behavior of the inhalation, exhalation, the thoughts, just keep your attention to the inhalation, exhalation. If the mind go here and there, bring it back when you recognize it is somewhere else. So otherwise, always keep the intention to inhalation, exhalation. The reason is this, the deeply what the mistake we does. So the mind can hold only one thought at one time. Now our purpose is focusing our mind to inhalation, exhalation. So then when you sit, if you become worry about the mind, or if you thinking about how to keep the mind, you're not focusing to the inhalation, exhalation. Why? Because then your attention go to the mind. Then what will happen? That behavior of your mind going to become more stronger. Why? Because by thinking you empowering it. So then that's why don't put attention and stay with the inhalation, exhalation again and again. It doesn't matter how disturbed your mind become. This is a very important point, because most of the beginners, or the most of the students, sometimes they always think about the mind or try to struggle with the mind. No, you don't need to struggle with the mind. That's why you have a primary mental object, nimitta. So then you stay with the nimitta. You don't go with the other situation. So once you recognize that your mind is not with the primary mental object, then you bring it back. So otherwise your attention should be there and not somewhere else. So that is the first thing. Once the mind focus to inhalation, exhalation, so how you going to go with it? Because just observing inhalation, exhalation, not going to bring the clarity, or not going to develop itself the sati. So that's why you have to have the effort, because once you get used to observe the inhalation, exhalation, just it become normal. So then don't get used to your technique or your meditation practice. Why? If don't get habit to don't develop a habitual pattern with your practice, then once you are in the habit, once you get used to, your sati or your mindfulness is not there. So that's why always keep the awareness ahead and then go with it. Then lead your action towards that awareness. So that way your awareness going to become stronger. So then little by little, when you keep the awareness ahead, and once you come to that point, then again you put the awareness to ahead. So in the beginning, you observe the inhalation, exhalation separately. And that will help to calm down your mind. And once the mind calm down with it, and then take a one inhalation or exhalation and observe entire continuation from beginning to end. So again and again follow that and stay with the knowingly this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, and follow the entire continuation. In the third level, some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft. It is the way it happens. So just see it and recognize. In the beginning, sometimes you don't see. You see all the inhalation, exhalation kind of like same. It is not same. It is different. So, and sometimes when you observe like this way deeply, your mind can disturb you in different ways. But don't go with the thoughts. In case if you recognize the thought becomes stronger than your intention, then bring your intention forward. And sometimes you feel more relaxed and comfort, then the mind start to go with it. It's like a cow goes to the grass, because the body always look for comfort. And it's deeply the mind the same. Mind always look for the comfort. It's like some people always go to bed to lie down, so couch to lie down. So sometimes in the deeper, this body and the mind always go towards the comfort. Then maybe you don't think about something. Now you are focusing to inhalation, exhalation. But deeply what is happening, this bodily comfort, physical comfort, and also the mental comfort start to become a barrier. And then you settle down there. So no one disturb, your mind doesn't go anywhere. You feel so good, and then you stuck there. Those are the things, it's kind of like this, that in Western, sometimes it's a when you give some details, if you say tips, and then they become happy, so, and secret, formula for secret, it's tips for kind of like, to become rich. So then they kind of like, so these are kind of like tips, secret points that when you walk in the path, so then you always remember, don't stuck with that physical or the mental comfort, because our purpose is not look for comfort. It's nothing wrong having it. You need it to go forward. But what I'm telling, you no need to permanently settle down there, and you no need to put much attention. Why? Because once you get out of the meditation, or maybe when something else, maybe the sound appear, maybe somebody called you, maybe you have to do something, then what will happen? Within another few minutes, that comfort disappear. So that's why I always remember, whatever this physical, mental comfort, there's nothing wrong with it. We appreciate it, we enjoy it, but we're not going to settle down there. We're not going to camping there. We're not going to hanging there. We're not going to harboring to it, and we keep going. So that's why you need the little by little, push yourself forward. With the knowingly inhalation, exhalation, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, and some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft. So like that, with these details, it takes you deeper, deeper, deeper. And once the mind, the body, and the breathing with thought settle down, from there we go to Vidarsana level of practice. So in Vidarsana level of practice, there are mainly 4 pillars, 4 foundations: Kayanupassana, Chittanupassana, Vedananupassana, Dhammanupassana. This all the 4 you can get out of when you practice inhalation, when you observe the inhalation, exhalation. So that's why I stay with that, rather than going with because when you deeply get into the right place, that naturally that you can start to understand the soul, and also that very easily you can recognize the differences. And as example, in the beginning, if you try to go with the Chitta Anupassana, and then what will happen? You may start to get into thinking rather than observing the thoughts. So once your meditation become thinking, what will happen? Where it going to end? How are you going to get out of it? So that's why stay with the breathing and start from there and go with it. So from there in the Vipassana, we're going to get into 5 aggregates. So in the 5 aggregates, form, feeling, sensation, formations, cognitions. So all is with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever the perceptions. The contacts happen. In that contacts, whatever the very first thing that we call, it's a form. So the sound, when it come to our ear, it is the form. The smell, aroma come to our, it is the form. And any kind of taste come to our tongue, that is the form. So we start with that. So the form, so when it comes to inhalation, exhalation, so that is the form in this 5 aggregates. So from there, out after the form, sensation arise. So perception, contact, and then that give the ignition, the feelings. So there are three feelings: good feeling, bad feelings, neutral, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Catching that is the catching the feeling, recognizing the feeling, even in the surface level, recognizing the feelings is the challenge. It's kind of like when you have the key. If you don't see the hole, that the right place to put, even in the right side, sometimes at night you may experience. You put the key, up and down to the wrong side. The right key, the right place, the right lock. But what you have to do? Just turn the side. So otherwise, this everything right. But if it is in the wrong side, what will happen? How many years you can try? Even the eons. If you try using that key, you will never open the door. See? That's only thing what you have to do. Just turn it. So otherwise, that's the prayers, the wisdom, the whatever the things that we carry in this world, it's not going to work. So like that, when it comes to the Vipassana level of practice, remember always, even the everything have with us, even the everything there, the putting that everything at the right place is the important. So it's the very nature of the art, putting the right things at the right place is the art. So when it comes to the meditation, how it become art? You put the right mindset at the right time, at the right place. So like that, when it comes to Vipassana, the most important part in the beginning, don't go to the mind, don't go to the consciousness, and don't go to the thoughts, don't go to the sensation, get to recognize the feelings. Because this is the key point. We follow the feelings. Most of the living beings, that whoever have the physical body, they go with the feelings. So that's why it is important. It is kind of like a key point. So then see the feelings. That's enough. And because once the feelings is not there, once if you get out of the feelings, then it's not belong to your world. So the feelings, recognize when the inhalation, exhalation happens. Be sharp and clear to see the feelings. Stay with it. Don't interfere and don't add anything and don't try to change anything. Just allow it to happen naturally itself. So when the feelings arise, recognize according to inhalation, exhalation, recognize it. How the feelings change moment by moment, moment by moment. And when your mind becomes sharp and clear, you can see the sensation. You can see the thoughts. You can see the mind, how things change. So get into the feelings and work with it. And when the inhalation, exhalation happens, see how you experience, what you feel. And then see what is happening to it. And then what happened next. So like that, go with it, moment by moment, moment by moment. Don't take any previous experience to the next. Always keep your mind free and relaxed and fresh. And keep it awake 100%, not half sleeping, not it is not going to work. So then fully awake yourself and observe. So then it will help for you step by, even 1 second enough. 1 second enough. Why? Because then only thing is, once you know what, then you have to do what? Just increase the duration little by little. But getting this everything together and put it into the right place is the challenge yourself. That is the practice you need. So then once you put that into the right place, maybe it will disappear. It's okay. But now you know. Then again, do you do it? Again, you do it. Again, you do it. That will bring your awareness higher and stronger. And then the duration become longer, longer, longer. And then and according to that, you're going to get into the depth, sensation, formations, cognitions. So then it goes little by little deeper. So let's practice little bit. And your right palm on your left, and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And let your whole body weight go down. And bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself 3 times and say, Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, bring your attention to your body and observe the lower part of your body and feel the sensation, any tightness, heaviness, heat, comfort, discomfort, any uncomfortable feelings. So don't react to it, just recognize. Just get a mental note. And bring attention to the lower back. And upper back and shoulders. Arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Your abdominal area. Chest. Bring attention to your neck and head. And observe your whole body head to toes. Bring attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Recognize the inhalation, exhalation separately. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. Some inhalation is longer, shorter, heavy, soft. Just observe that nature and accept it. Don't interfere with it. Drop the attention towards inhalation, exhalation, and see the feelings arise, followed by the inhalation, exhalation, and follow the feelings. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as we can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this. So, mentally repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. to all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy. Without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, this practicing meditation is a way that we, using the self-observation, we develop the self-transformation. So, it is very necessary because somehow our life going to be transformed to something. It will happen all the time. It constantly happening. So rather than it happen according to our mental formations and the environment, if you become mindful, if you develop your observation, and then you can lead it to the place there, wherever it should be. So that's why we keep as our final goal or as our final destination the Nibbana, enlightenment. Why? Because that is the ultimate, the happiness or the ultimate place that we can reach as human beings. So in this very lifetime, when you have this human life, it is where you have good opportunity to get into that, more than any other living beings. So then you are in a kind of like a 50% complete the journey. So you are inherent with that nature. So then only thing is what? You have to drop some unnecessary things and make clear inside you. So once you clear that inside, then it will help you to get into the highest. So far you came in this journey and you have no idea maybe how difficult it was. Forget about the previous lives. Just even in this very lifetime, from birth to this moment, this point, how difficult it was. And what a risk that you had sometimes, knowingly or unknowingly. And how many things went up and down, and how many things went the change. So just see that, but even you didn't die. You know there are a lot of people already gone. And the people used to be in the world like the big people, not like, you and me, this small people. They were big people, but they all gone. They cannot do anything anymore. Alexander the Great, the great Alexander conquered half of the world. Genghis Khan owned most of the land in the world. King Asoka from the history. From there, then in this world, and the the people used to hold the power and became the presidents or the kings. It's all gone, even during your lifetime. How many people already gone that they used to be with you? And your parents, friends and family members. But the most important thing, recognizing that, and maybe when you see that things, when you hear that things, it feels sad, kind of like, they all gone. But at the same time, it giving a light to you. What is that light? Hey, remember, you are still alive. That is the important point that you have to remember. Why? Because anytime you can die. So far in the journey, you didn't die. Many things happen. How many wrong turns that you took on the way sometimes? It is one-way journey. It says, even though it is a one-way, you always have to look left and right. But sometimes in our life, even in the double lines, we don't care. So without putting signals, sometimes how many times we change the lanes, but we didn't die. So then what you get out of that benefit? So it's a kind of like a gift you having, it's like winning a lottery all the time. So out of that winning, what you gain? The misery, the same unhappiness, same unsatisfaction you claiming every day? No, you have to claim something higher, because you won kind of like a lottery so far in this journey. So then use it. So this life is kind of like a benefit for you to get into the highest level. And there are unseen living beings, and seeing this world, even above the heavens, the angels sometimes seeing this world, and they are waiting to get the opportunity to be like you. But you already have it. But you don't see the value of it sometimes. We just take down, we abuse this life sometimes. And we sometimes play with this without knowingly, that how precious and how beautiful and how valuable this and what we can get out of this all. So then practicing meditation is a transformation all the time you develop inside you, because it is necessary. Without that practice, you cannot get into that. Just itself, it's not going to happen. If it is happen, in the history, we had many lifetimes. But in this environment, it is impossible. So that's why we have to practice. Otherwise, it is okay. But in this kind of environment, in this kind of life, very limited time, with the age even, and we cannot just think, oh, it will happen anytime. We cannot let go like that. So we have to keep practice. We have to give some times for that. So that is important. That is the very, the important point that you always have to think. If you don't do it, itself not going to happen. Maybe because the wisdom never going to come out of the luck. Maybe you can become a millionaire tomorrow out of the luck, but the wisdom never going to come. It like this, that it says the difference in between the brown sugar and white sugar. The great scholar, the Nagarjuna, told this example. The difference in between the brown sugar and white sugar, by preaching, by writing books, giving lectures, you can spend eons, but getting a little bit to tip up your tongue and experiencing. And that experience never going to be equal to eons of teachings. So then think yourself. So we have all the teachings and the Dhamma talks and everything around us today, more than any other time. We are so blessed to have that all today. So, but still, if we don't apply it to our life through practice, we cannot get into the bottom of that teaching. So especially when it comes to mind. So then always remember, give some time to yourself. Do whatever you do, somehow you're going to do it. And we have to have a life. It is okay. Just keep going with it. Whatever the life that you have, because you are the one who know what it is. So keep going with it. But at the same time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whenever you have time, little bit, give, just to sit. And you no need to believe anybody, you no need to repeat anyone's names, you no need to get any pictures, you no need any statues. So then what you have, just observe your own inhalation, exhalation. Give some time, give some peace to your mind with just let it be a little bit restful, because all the time thoughts. Give your heart a little bit rest, rather than always firing it up. So that itself bring kind of like the opening space to enter to this path of wisdom. So it is very necessary as human beings for you. Why? Because that is the most highest thing that you can gain. So in that path, so as we always know, there are two things: conventional life and eternal life. So this both we have to develop at the same time. How you both develop at the same time? So it like this: in conventional life, you need certain facilities: longevity, good health, comfort, strength, and wisdom. Those are the 5 qualities in conventional life you need to maintain that. Longevity, good health, comfort, strength, and the wisdom. In the spiritual path, there are some other tools you have to develop. And in that path, the first one is the conviction or the faith. Another one is the effort. Another one is the mindfulness. Another one is concentration. Another one is the wisdom. So those are the 5 things in the spiritual life you have to develop, and the conventional life and some. So there are 5 things conventionally belong and spiritually. So when you look this both paths, there is one thing similar to both. That is the last one, the wisdom, panya. To have a conventional life and have eternal life, you need this. And it's like You cannot, it kind of like you cannot let go one thing and just hold it only one. So in conventional way, longevity, that the comfort and the complexion, the strength and the wisdom or the panya come always out of giving, not by praying, asking or something like that. It always come out of giving. So your conventional life become more successful when you able to share your life with these five qualities and giving these five qualities to others, facilitating to others. And that way your conventional life going to become more comfortable, giving, facilitating, providing for others, not holding to you. But in the spiritual life, faith or the conviction and also the confident, the effort and the mindfulness, awareness, panya, so these kind of things always come out of the developing from inside you. So conventional life becomes successful when you give to others, and the spiritual life becomes successful when you develop it within yourself. So that is two different ways. So as example, conviction or the shraddha, confident. So you cannot give it to others. It is you have to develop as a mental quality. The effort itself, you cannot give it to others. And even you cannot get it from somebody. You have to develop it within yourself. And the mindfulness, you have to build it within yourself. The awareness, you have to build it within yourself. And the wisdom, you have to build within yourself. So that's why self-observation go to self-transformations. So then when you look for the spiritual qualities, you cannot ask. By asking, it never going to happen. The asking liberation, asking nibbana, asking wisdom, it's not going to happen. It always cultivating, cultivating, cultivating. And so the conviction doesn't have any help. Out of only the conviction it has help. The faith doesn't have any help from outside. The faith only have the relationship with the faith. So then when you want to develop the faith, just develop the faith. That it cannot develop by something else. And the effort, when you want to develop the effort, always have the effort. That is the only way to develop the effort. And when you look for mindfulness, always be mindful. And when you develop the awareness, always be awareness. Be aware. So that will develop the awareness. And when you want to develop the wisdom, always be wise. So this is how it develops. It cannot develop by something else. And when it comes to the conventional life, that longevity, the longevity doesn't come out of giving something else. The longevity always come to you by giving longevity to others. And the comfort never come out of giving something else to others, only by giving the comfort to others. And the strength, it never come out of giving something else, it always come out of giving the strength. So then always remember, this recognizing this is very important in day-to-day life, in conventionally and eternally, because if we mix this, and sometimes then that we go in a different way looking something else. So that's why even seeing this, understanding this is the open part. It create the space for you to enter to the wisdom. Understanding this itself become the wisdom, because sometimes looking for longevity, and maybe you can pray, it's not going to happen. So there are some people, they pray 24/7. They are kind of like masters to pray. So then they should live longer. No, maybe they die sooner. But in the journey of this sansara, then remember yourself that no any power can repute something else. Only get the power reputed by that's own power. That is the beauty of the Buddha's teaching. That there is no any other teachings that talk about this. If you look, you will see. Because the confident get empowered just by facilitating to the confident. So in the spiritual path the same, conventional path the same. So then remember, when it go to conventional life, that is so spiritual life, so the same method you have to use. What is that? If you want the longevity, you have to give the longevity. So in the conventional life, giving the whatever you want, if you able to give, you're going to get it. And in the spiritual path, whatever the mental quality you want, and you have to develop it it yourself within your own mind, and to get it to your mind. So again and again, when you keep going in this path, and then you see little by little you closer to your liberation. So this is all called practice and doing it, just not holding it as a knowledge or wisdom, just doing it is very necessary. So there was a monk, this Tibetan story. There was a monk that he used to go to a mango tree and in the Himalayas, and he used to practice meditation. And every day he come and sit and practice meditation. And in that mango tree, there was a naughty angel. And she was looking this monk come every day and practice meditation, close his eyes and don't move. And he go to samadhi and stay there. And then she thought to see how his meditation, how his that mind. So what she did, she picked a mango and dropped. And it came to his head. But he didn't move, and he practiced himself. And then the next time, she took another mango and dropped. And that came to his shoulder. But that also didn't disturb him. He was okay. And then the next mango, she dropped. And it came, and he was practicing like this. It came to his thumb. And then he opened his eyes, stand and start to look here and there. And he came out of his meditation. So now angels start to look. What crazy monk he is. The mango fell down to head. he didn't move. And the mango fell down to his back, shoulder, he didn't move. But just the finger. And the mango came down to the finger, and he gave up his meditation and started to look here and there. Now she was thinking, and she caught up with her mind, and now she having question. And sometimes, the nature of these naughty people, they when they are caught up with something, they are very tough, disturbance. So what she did, she came and she appeared as in a human form and came to the monk and asked, I have a question. And the very first thing, and I want to apologize what I did. So I'm the one who did drop these mangoes. Then the monk was silent and asked, I have a question. So the first mango came to head, you didn't disturb. The second one, shoulder, you didn't disturb. But why, when it comes to your thumb, why you get up? Why you give up your meditation? So then this monk told, in physical world, the thumb is the most important thing. The thumb decide you going to be your own or you going to be slave to somebody. And as example, in the ancient time, people used always to earn money, their labor, they work hard. And especially when it go to war, so like that, to use the weapons, use the sword, it is especially need the thumb. So as a punishment in the ancient time, they used to cut the thumb. And if the person won't make the person weak. And even the archeries, when shooting arrows, it always need the thumb to get the right target. And so it's like for the snipers, this finger. So in the ancient time, people used these things and always the tools, and to hold that, it need the thumb. So the thumb is very important. Why? Because it decide you're going to be your own or you're going to be slave in physical world. And that, as you know that Angulimala, who collected 1,000 finger garland, and he used to cut the thumb. So what is that? Because it's a kind of like you put people to slavery. And from the ancient time, still it is happening, even though they don't cut the thumb finger, and people like other people become slave to them. And they go and behind and worship and always behind become a follower. This is a human mindset. So somehow this monk explained. So in the conventional life, longevity, good, the comfort, complexion, strength, and the wisdom, and this all hold your conventional lives together. And also in the spiritual path, the faith or the conviction, the effort, consciousness, awareness, and the wisdom, this all hold together. So the same like that, this everything hold together by the thumb. The wisdom is the very necessary. So the thumb is the representing the wisdom. So that's why when we agree, it's a kind of like we thumbs up. If we don't like, we go thumbs down. So the monk told, if anybody disturb your thumb, that's mean it can affect for your conventional life, and also maybe it is a sign that it's come to disturb your spiritual life. So then yourself always remember, you have to be strong in this both field, conventional and spiritual, this both. So it's kind of like to develop this both paths, make strong this both paths. And this both the paths come together if you able to develop the wisdom. So always then in day-to-day life, see whatever you do, wherever you go, what it's in whatever the way you develop your life, always remember to end up being with the wise. Never let anything to make you fool. So that is your effort should be every day in every way. So that way your life every day will transform little by little, little by little with your own effort. So with that, I bless upon with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbidyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata chammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.